What is good, fam? Welcome to This Week in Points and Travel. I'm your host, JP Buffett. On this week's episode, we'll be talking about the Hyatt Devaluation. We'll also be talking about how Hyatt is trying to get back into Las Vegas. On top of that, we'll be talking about how Delta might be getting rid of the bag on time guarantee. And we'll be talking about how TSA Precheck probably got a little bit faster. Those stories coming up on This Week in Points and Travel. Stay tuned. All right, guys, welcome to This Week in Points and Travel. I know this episode came out a little bit later than I wanted it to, but these things happen. But we're here now, and we're going to talk about what happened in This Week in Points. So our lead story, or kind of stories, there's going to be two together, are both about Hyatt. So the first story is that Hyatt had a devaluation last week. So let's just back up a little bit. Every year, Hyatt changes up its annual chart values. Some hotels go up, some hotels go down, basically kind of depending on supply and demand. So what we had this year was we had 183 hotels change their category. Categories can go from between 1 and 8 and A through F, which I'll talk about a little bit later. But yeah, we had 183 change, with 137 increasing their category and only 46 of those actually decreasing that category. So we look at it on, just face value, that does look like a bit of a devaluation overall. But let's, talk a little bit more about this, with the biggest hit actually coming to the all-inclusive space, mainly primarily in Mexico and the Caribbean, with 13 resorts, all-inclusive resorts, increasing their categories and only one decreasing their categories. And there's not all doom and gloom here. This actually does not take effect until March 26th. So if you want to book something before March 26th, now might be the time to do that. But with that said, like I was saying a little bit earlier, they're changing the categories, going up or down. So what are the categories? So you have, for all of their hotels, you have categories 1 through 8, and these range in number of Hyatt points from 3,500 points all the way up to 45,000 Hyatt points for a night stay. And they also have, for their all-inclusive resorts, they have categories A through F, and these range anywhere from 12,000 points a night upwards to upwards of 58,000 points a night at peak times. So at the end of the day, yes, this is devaluation. Hyatt is telling you we need more money. We're in inflation times, but it is what it is. I still do like the fact they have a price chart, unlike Marriott, which is more of dynamic pricing depending on what the price of the hotel is. So I actually like the fact they keep this. It does suck though that they're actually increasing their prices. And let me just give you an example of how much they're increasing it. So on the Thrifty Traveler, they showed that an all-inclusive that cost 25,000 Hyatt points 2 years ago, just 2 years ago. A couple of those hotels are actually, a couple of those all-inclusive resorts are going upwards of 50,000 Hyatt points a night, which is crazy if you ask me. But it is the times we live in, and I guess people want to go there, and they're going to actually increase the price in terms of points to stay at these locations. But for the people who, in a silver lining sense, for the people who actually care about points and credit cards and stuff like that, which I'm assuming is you if you're listening to this podcast or watching this YouTube channel, this might be a great time for Chase to come out with that higher tier Hyatt card, which will hopefully have some pretty good perks like globalist status and stuff like that, which I don't know or think that will be happening. But even giving you a higher category for their free night certificate, as the current one only goes from category 1 to 4, and for the most part, that's not that lucrative. And also, given the fact that some of these category 4s are changing to category 5s, a lot of these hotels are not being able to be stayed at. So if they keep doing this and keep increasing, there are going to be problems for people actually being able to redeem this free night certificate from Hyatt. So this can put Chase in a very good position to introduce that card and get some more subs coming their way. Also, given the fact that Capital One is now merging or trying to merge with Discover, and the CEO of Chase, Jamie Dimon, is basically talking about how he welcomes the competition and how Chase will be ready to compete against the likes of Capital One going forward. But with that story out of the way, let us move on to our next story. For our next story, we are staying with Hyatt. Yes, Hyatt is trying to get back into Vegas. So this story stems from something that happened a few months ago, back in 2023, where Hyatt was partnered with MGM. MGM was like, you know what, this ain't work for me. I want a divorce. And Hyatt's like, no, baby, I want to stay with you. MGM's like, nah. And then it gets a new boo in Marriott. So Hyatt is now left high and dry and is trying to find a new partner so it can cement its footprint in Vegas. Now, it's not all doom and gloom. Hyatt has found a new partner, and they are partnering with Rio Hotel and Casino, which is right on the Strip. Wait, no, it's actually not on the Strip. It's a little bit further away. But yeah, it's not bad. It's not all doom and gloom. Rio is not, they're doing some good things. So they're actually, so let me actually tell you a little bit about the hotel. It opened up in 1990, and it's now under the ownership of Dreamscape, which bought it from Caesars Entertainment back, I think a little bit, 2020, 2021, somewhere around there. And they've put a lot of investment into Rio, as they put $340 million into renovating the hotel in all of its 250 rooms and other areas inside the hotel. So they're trying to improve the space. So there's something there. It is not MGM's, thousands of rooms MGM has, but it is all suites, so that might be something if that's something you're interested in. And if you are loyal to Hyatt and you want to actually go to Vegas and use your Hyatt status while you're in Vegas, this can be something for you. But yeah, Hyatt's trying to get back into Vegas. If that's we'll see what happens with that. We'll see who they team up with going forward. But with that, we're going to move on to our next story. Our next story up is more of a rumor at this point, because it hasn't been confirmed, at least at the time of this recording. And that is that Delta might be getting rid of their baggage on time guarantee. So for anybody who doesn't know what this guarantee is, my man Chat Money Minutes did a whole breakdown on this. I'll actually leave that video in the right corner right here. Or if you listen to it in the podcast, you can just type in Chat Money Minutes Delta bag guarantee. I'm sure you will find it somewhere on YouTube. But anyways, basically what this is that when you get to your arrival spot, your arrival airport, within 20 minutes, if your bag is not the carousel, within 20 minutes of your arrival, Delta will give you 2,500 Sky Miles, which valued at Delta's very conservative value of 0.1 cents. I keep saying 0.1 cents. 1 cent per point, then basically that would be worth $25, which isn't that bad when you think about it, especially if you're a frequent flyer and they somehow keep messing your bag up. But that is what it is. And there's rumor going around that they are going to be getting rid of this. Though Delta does say, because they said to the Points Guy, that there is nothing we have announced, nor have we are going to announce with regards to the change to this program, to the bag on time guarantee program. So, you know, Delta could be being coy. You know, like when people like run for president, and they're like, "Oh, I'm not going to run for president. I'm just going home to spend time with my family. I just didn't want to be a senator anymore. I didn't want to be a governor anymore. I just want to go home with my family." And like 2 months later, you find out that they're actually running for president. Bro, stop being coy. We just tell it how it is. But hey, they do what they want to do. But yeah, this is just a rumor at the moment, but this might be happening. So just be on the lookout for that. And honestly, also, I saw something, somebody says, "Oh, you know, because people are going around talking about it, therefore that's why Delta's going to get rid of it." Bro, Delta is advertising this themselves. You can even ask, look on Ask Savvy's channel where he shows that Delta is advertising, you know, if we don't have your bag in 20 minutes, you get points, bro. So it's not a well-kept secret, if you will. But yeah, that is that. Delta might be getting rid of their 20-minute bag guarantee. And with that, we're going to move on to our next story. All right, for our next story up on the docket here, TSA Precheck might be getting a little bit faster, at least with United. So United is giving you an option of something they call Touchless ID. And this basically means that you do not need a physical ID or a boarding pass to get through TSA if you have TSA Precheck. And this is being rolled out at 2 of their major hubs, be it in Chicago at O'Hare Airport and in Los Angeles at LAX. So if you have TSA Precheck and basically you put your known traveler's number or your KTN number in and you go through that, you can now opt in for the ability to basically just scan your face, kind of like Clear, basically scan your face, stuff like that, and you can move through a little bit faster. And for all of the people who care about privacy, they do not keep your data for that long, according to them. For not that long, I don't know how long it is. But if you have TSA Precheck anyways, they take your picture and take your fingerprint. So the privacy is kind of out of the door with that one. But I understand people don't want a third party besides the government getting that. But it is what it is. They say they don't hold on to it that long after. They mainly just keep it for the time of your flight. But that is what it is. And this is honestly not new. This is actually something Delta has already been pursuing with their thing they call their digital ID, which is again something you opt into if you have TSA Precheck. Though I will say, I think me and my wife did this when we went to London. We didn't have TSA Precheck, and it wasn't actually going through the Precheck line. It was actually the boarding line where it basically scanned your face. I don't know if this has happened to anybody else, but they just like scanned our face, and that got us on. They didn't need our boarding pass, which is kind of freaky when you think about it. But hey, we got on the plane, and you know it was what it was. But yeah, that is it for this week in Points in Travel, guys. And until next time, peace.